Mic check, mic check, mic check. All right, we're gonna get started in a little bit, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can hear me, drop a 1. If you can see me, drop a 2. If you can hear me, drop a 1. If you can see me, drop a 2. We're gonna get started in just a second. Just a second. Motivated Mind says we got a 1, so that means that I can be heard again. I'm going to get started in just a second. This is kind of an impromptu live. An impromptu live. I am streaming right now specifically to YouTube. I'm running on Facebook as well, but guys, you can only hear the audio. You will not be able to see the visual. Right now, you should see a thumbnail that says I am live on YouTube. That's what you should see happening right now. So let me get out of this. That's the only thing that you should see right now is that we are live on YouTube. So anybody that's over on Facebook, hit the link in the description. Jump over here on the YouTube page. All right, and it's been a little minute. Again, if you guys can hear me, drop a 1 in the comments. If you can see me, drop a 2. As a matter of fact, let me bring up the comments. I haven't done this in a while. And I'm gonna jump right to it. I promise to you, it's not even gonna be a lot of banter going on. All right, cool. And Motivated Minds, if you're still watching, I just want to make sure that the music in the background is not too loud, that you can still hear me over that. So if you can confirm that for me, please, I would greatly appreciate it. Says I got 3 people watching. That's what it says. That's what it says. That's what it says. All right, and for those of you who are on Facebook, you probably can hear me, but you will not be able to see me. You probably can hear me, but you will not be able to see me. So I need you to click the link in the description. Jump over here on YouTube. I'm going live specifically on YouTube. I'm gonna give it about 15 more seconds, and then I'm going to get started.
Virtual events can be great for growing your brand and building an audience. With Zoom events, you can simplify everything by combining
All right, let's go ahead and get started. What's going on, party people? Thanks for jumping on the channel. It's been some time. But yeah, glad to be back in the space where I am the best at what I do. So again, those of you who may be dropping by this for the first time, thank you for coming by. Feel free to hit the like button. Definitely, more importantly than anything, I really want to engage with you in the comments. So definitely do that. Drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? If you agree, if you disagree, if you have any better techniques or strategies that are going to do what we're talking about today, help you grow a YouTube channel. All right, so let's just get right into it. I don't want to waste a lot of time. Like I said, it's been some time since I've done a live. It's been some time since I've done a video. Doesn't matter. Show up like you've been here before. Motivated Mind says both audio and visual are good. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, whoever you are. So thanks for jumping in. So again, I posted something on Facebook today talking about what's stopping you. As a matter of fact, I don't want to get it wrong. I'll tell you exactly what I said. I asked the questions roughly about 3 hours ago. I said, what's stopping you from starting a YouTube channel, a podcast, live streaming, or vlogging, right? And I got several different responses. Most of the responses centered around, fear of being on camera, so being camera shy. Couple of the responses were about not knowing exactly where to start. All right, a couple of things, maybe about the quality, which may revolve around equipment. Some things about personality. Some things about time management. And so there are 1,000 different videos that you can clearly watch on YouTube surrounding this topic. I'm just going to give you my 2 cents. Like I said, I don't necessarily want this to be a long video, but I do want it to be something that can reflect a lot of the conversations that we are currently having. All right. So like I said, if you have any questions, definitely drop those in the chat. I will see them. I will address them. Whole purpose of this doing this is to engage. Again, share this with somebody you know. Smash that like button. Let them know that Walt is back. Let them know that Walt is live right now. You know what I'm saying? And we're having a conversation. So number one, the first thing that I want you to consider is forget about the tech. I think number one, cameras, audio, lights, although those things are important, a lot of those things are overhyped. And what I mean by that is that's typically the number one reason where I see on my videos, I see on other people's videos that I follow, so many people allow the tech to hold them back and keep them from creating. So everybody wants to know, well, hey, what's the best camera? Because I'm looking to start a YouTube channel. Well, what's the best mic? Because I'm looking to start a podcast. Well, what's the best light? Because I'm looking to do this. And so you see this continued, everybody's so invested, you know what I'm saying, in tech or whatever, but like people get so enamored with the tech that they never get started. And so that's why number one, if you're trying to start, and I know we're approaching 2023, but I don't want you to wait until 2023. I want you to go ahead and hit that record button right now in 2022. If your goal is to start, I want you to get started, and I want you to get started now. But the first thing I want you to do is forget about the tech. Put the tech to the side. Every one of you have a phone. Everybody has a phone. I have the iPhone 14 Pro. Pro Max is too big, so I only got the Pro. Whatever you have, 12, 13, 11, it doesn't matter. You literally have everything you need just to get started. So forget about the tech, put that to the side. That's number one. We'll get to that later. Number two, like I said, we're going to jump right into it. I don't want this to necessarily be a long video. The second thing that I want you to actually focus on is the thing that I always say in my introductions. I always tell you, create, inspire, and solve. Show you how to build a better brand, grow your business. And that last part, help you create a community around the things that you're most passionate about. So again, when people say they don't know where to start or they don't know what to talk about, I always ask them, well, what are you passionate about? What are some of the conversations that you're already having? What do you do? What are your hobbies? These are the things that give way or give you opportunity to create content. The thing is, you don't understand, you're already creating content. When you're having conversation, that is content. Now, granted, some of those conversations, they may need to be publicized. And then some of those conversations, they may not. It just typically depends on what your interests are. But I know specifically, we talk about building businesses, entrepreneurship, building brands, and I love talking about those things and in the context of cameras, audio gear, lights, and different types of tech. But again, what are you passionate about? What is it that you spend all day doing anyway? And those are the spaces where you really want to find yourself that is going to kind of give you a baseline or a platform or a foundation for the things that you need to create. The reason I say that is because you're going to get to a point where you're going to start to get tired. You're going to burn out. It's going to happen. You're human. And so you have to be able to be invested in the things that you're creating. You have to be invested in the things that you are talking about. All right. So again, what is it that you're passionate about? What are your hobbies? Some of the people that I answered the question for, I'm like, hey, they specifically work in the beauty industry, okay? You work in the beauty industry. You do a lot with hair. You do a lot with makeup. For all of my ladies, my females, a lot of people will say that's an oversaturated niche or niche. I disagree. I think it's an opportunity for you to even niche down even further and find where there's a space for you. Again, this is a community that already exists, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is put your own spokes in the wheel, and you do it the way that you want to do it. So again, a lot of times we just try to come up with these great new things. No, success is founded on problems that already exist. All right. If you don't remember anything else that I said today, I want you to remember that success is founded or rather discovered or achieved based on problems that already exist. You need to find a problem or something or a need, and you just need to be able to address it. We have Burger King, McDonald's, Arby's, KFC, Bojangles, all Cookout, all these different type of places, and they usually sell the same thing. But again, they have a particular audience. People that go to Burger King don't like McDonald's. People that go to Five Guys don't like McDonald's or Burger King. You know what I'm saying? Serve your audience. What's going on, David Harvey? Glad to see you. Serve your audience. You know what I'm saying? The way that you need to actually serve your audience. Again, one of the things my Ecamm fam, they always hear me say, in a world of Whoppers, what makes you a Big Mac? What is your special sauce? What makes you stand out? Again, so what is it that you're passionate about? So again, number one, we talked about forget about the tech. Put the tech to the side, all right? Don't let that stop you. Number two, what are you passionate about? All right, that's number two. Number three, where is your audience? You have to figure that out. Where is your audience, all right? When you're talking about building a community around the things that you're most passionate about, where is your audience at? Where are they located? You got to find them. And the reason I say that, because again, I'm talking about starting a YouTube channel, and people may say, well, isn't your audience on YouTube? For a lot of us, that's not the case. My audience, when I do random lives, I do random lives on Facebook. But again, I understand that the whole point of me doing this is talking about building a YouTube channel. So what I did is I had to get a little creative. Thanks to the power of multi-streaming and Ecamm Live, what I was able to do is virtually take this presentation, take the audio, push it out to another account for Ecamm that's connected to my Facebook. So if you follow me on Facebook, you will see that I'm live right now. But all you see is a thumbnail that says, I am live on YouTube. Click the link in the description. So what I'm doing is called traffic lead generation. I'm forcing you, in order for you to get the full experience of what I'm talking about, I'm forcing you to leave there and go over here. I have to make it worthwhile, not just for myself, but for you as well. So I got to leave some breadcrumbs to say, hey, I'm on YouTube. So again, I'm not just going to put up the thumbnail and just allow you to sit there, and just watch that and not hear anything, but you can still hear it. So it's almost kind of like a podcast type thing, because the fact of the matter is that some people just don't have time to watch. But again, there may be somebody that's on Facebook right now, and all they can see is that thumbnail, and they're just listening to me talk. Power of Ecamm, I'm able to push all of that out. That goes with the tech. We can talk about those things later. And they're watching, but that I know that audience respects that. I have not built up the chops yet, nor do I have the amount of subscribers on YouTube where I can just do random pop-ups. YouTube requires me to be more strategic. So I understand my audience. I understand my audience. In the branding world, we do what are called user personas or profiles. So we understand it's bigger than just saying your target audience. It's like, no, what are the age demographics? Where do they shop? Where do they live? What kind of music do they listen to? You know, what is their education level? You know, how much money? What is the median household income? These are the weaves and the nitty gritty that you get into when trying to understand your audience and where they are located. If I understand where they are located, I understand how to speak their language. So I have to look at Facebook like it's a different country. If I'm leaving the United States and I'm flying outside of the country and I'm going to quote unquote Facebook, let's just say France, no pun intended, but if I'm going to France, I did take French, but I may have to, you know, refresh myself, you know, on French. Let's say if I was going to somewhere in Zimbabwe, I don't speak the language that they speak in Zimbabwe. Again, I have to learn the language of that country. So again, and you starting whatever journey you're going to start, if you're going to start a YouTube journey and your audience is not on YouTube, you first have to learn the language of where they reside. So you locate them. So if they're on Facebook, learn to speak the language of that platform. If they're on Instagram, learn to speak the language of that platform. That leads me to number 4, because once you understand where your audience is located, you have to now make a decision on the type, and when I say type, kind of format, but the type of content that you're going to create. Real quick, just looking at the comments, Gutter Sean, you know what I'm saying? Get advice is solid. Appreciate you stopping by. I really appreciate that. Elaine Smith, hello, beautiful people. Thank you again for jumping in. Like I say, y'all, feel free to jump in the comments. Let me know what you think, other strategies, whatever you're going on. So again, number 1, we said forget about, if you're just coming in, we're talking about starting a YouTube channel and what's holding you back. So number 1, we talked about putting the tech to the side, forget about the tech, all right? Number 2, I asked you, what are you passionate about? What are you passionate about? What drives you? What conversations are you already having that you're just not capturing on camera? Number 3, I talked about locating your audience. Where is your audience currently located? All right. And how do you give them breadcrumbs? How do you entice them to leave where they are? Learning the language of the platform that they're on and bring them over here to YouTube. Number 4, what type of content are you going to create? Are we talking about talking head videos, kind of like I'm doing now? Are you going to be doing tutorials? Are you going to be doing how-tos? Are you going to be doing product reviews? Are you going to be doing shorts? There's a lot of different opportunities. So again, you have to come up with a content strategy. You have to come up with a content strategy. I'm sorry, Eileen. I'm not sure what I said the first time, but you have to come up with a content strategy. And part of that content strategy is understanding what type of content am I going to create. So again, if your audience is on Facebook, they're probably used to seeing a video that's in landscape mode that looks like this. Or if they spend a lot of time in the stories, or if they spend a lot of time on Facebook Reels. I don't even know what they call it on Facebook. We just gonna call it Reels. It just depends. But Facebook kind of has a plethora of the type of content that you can look at. Instagram and TikTok, everything is pretty much Reels. Yes, you can still make posts. Yes, you can still make, you know, regular landscape type vid, but I argue to say 90% of the content that I come across is in a vertical format. It's Reels. So again, if my audience is used to speaking the language of Reels, what kind of language is that? That means that number 1 is short form content, all right? That means that number 2, the presentation is very concentrated. So the thing about Reels is that when you go to a portrait mode vertical format, you remove all distractions and now everything becomes focused. How does that carry over? Once number 3, I identify where they are and I identify the language that they speak. Number 4, if I'm starting my YouTube journey and I want to bring them over to YouTube, I now understand, number 1, what the temperature is going to be like. So I understand what their temperament is. So I can't say, hey, follow me on YouTube, and I'm used to giving you 30 to 60 seconds worth of content, and now I'm trying to throw a 10-minute video at you. it has to be worth you coming over here. Now, as we look at things like monetization and all those different types of things, we understand that typically on average, 5 to 7 minutes is kind of a sweet spot. It just depends on your niche. 5 to 7 minutes is kind of a sweet spot. I argue, do whatever floats your boat. For me, 10 minutes is a sweet spot for me. I don't have too many videos that's under 10 minutes because I love giving context. My audience understands that and they look for that. Sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a curse. Once you get into the weeds and you look at analytics and all those different types of things, it will show you that breakdown. But specifically for myself, again, I understand that language. So if you're used to just giving 30 to 60 seconds of content, if it's a short attention span, if it's high entertainment or high focus, once you get on YouTube, that needs to carry over. You need to carry from, so that language, when you come back home, when you come back to the States, you need to be speaking some of that same language. People should come back and say, you must have went to France or you must have went on vacation to Mexico because you're speaking a lot of Spanish. You're speaking the language of that platform, and that's how you're going to marry the two together. And the reason I say that is because you will get later and you will see there's an opportunity for you to kind of break up the content and start shooting out what we call macro to micro. So you'll take large pieces of content, long form pieces of content, breaking up into smaller pieces of content, and then shoot that out in the bite-sized chunks so it's easier for people to digest. But again, I just want to run through that one more time. Number one, forget about the tech. Forget about the tech. All right, forget about the tech. We'll have conversations about tech, but forget about the tech. Number two, what is it that you are passionate about? What is it that you are passionate about? People always say, what is it that you would do for free? I want you to get out of that mindset because it's never free because it costs time. Time is a currency. I want you to start looking at it like it's a currency. So it's not about what you would do for free. It's about what are you passionate about? What are you willing to exchange your time for that could potentially pay dividends later on in the long run? Because again, once you get over here to monetization and all these different types of things, those are going to be some of the things that are going to encourage you when you start to see your hard work paying off. All right. So number one, forget about the tech. Number two, what are you passionate about? Number three, where is your audience located? What is the language of your audience? What do they speak? That's one of the biggest things in branding. I think that's probably the most important thing that you should remember out of today's conversation. You know, number three, what language does your audience speak? Where are they located? Don't be afraid to travel to where your audience is. We always want to say, come here, come here, come here. It's gimme, 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 gimme. You know, take. But what is your give? How do you lead them from wherever they are to come over with your journey? Some people are lucky. Some people just happen to be passionate about things that the whole world is searching for, and they go viral overnight. That's an abnormality. That's not a normal case. And number four, once you understand the language that your audience speaks, you develop your content strategy or your plan for YouTube around that. You plan it around that. So again, if you have an audience that again is not in shape, they are not used to work. They used to going, hey, I'm gonna get my 30 minutes in a day, and that's good. You can't come at them talking about, let's go do this 26-mile marathon. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, you know, and people will tune out. People will tune out. So there are a couple of other things that I do want to talk about. Let's jump in the comments real quick. Pixel Heart, thank you for doing this, learning a lot. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a great day. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for stopping by. I definitely appreciate it so much. Again, if y'all have any questions, feel free, let me know. So a couple of things I do just want to talk about. And I'm going to show you, let's do this. I'm doing this live. And I just realized I have like no music playing, like no music whatsoever. So I was sitting there talking the whole time with no music playing. All right, but I'm gonna actually go into my channel. Let's go into the studio. Built by Creatives. What's going on, man? Let's jump in here real quick. for those of you who are watching, let me know, like, how do you feel? Like, for those of you that actually have YouTube channels, you know, how do you feel? You know, do you feel like you're stagnant? What do you feel like the growth is? Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna actually show you. Let me go in preview mode real quick, so I don't mess up. It's been a minute. I don't want to mess up. All right, got the screen sharing going on. I'll show Google Chrome. All right, so what you see right now, for those of you who are watching, what you see right now, give me one quick second. I'm doing a lot today. All right, so what you see right now is my dashboard. This is the dashboard for my channel. All right, so currently I'm at 2,419 subscribers. That's okay. Now I'm saying that's okay for myself. My last video was like 2 months ago. Last video was 2 months ago, but I'm gonna give you the worst advice ever. Now this number is starting to go down, so I got to get my life right, because what I was averaging was roughly 90 to 100 subscribers over each month, whether I was putting out a video or not. A lot of that was due to SEO. A lot of that was due to SEO. So those things that I talked about with burnout, 2022 has been a great year. So it gave me an opportunity to do a lot of work. Well, doing a lot of work, yeah, man, I didn't have enough time to really create, you know what I'm saying, the things that I wanted to create. So my content creation journey was kind of sporadic, and usually I slow down. Which I usually see is the end of the year, I'll slow down. A lot of content comes out. The beginning of the year, a lot of content comes out. Around about March or April, I'm in full swing. I mean, especially once it starts warming up. A lot of people don't want to shoot when it's cold, but once it warms up, I'm in full swing. I actually started another YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? It's called Fat Boy Finesse, if anybody's interested in that. And everything I'm talking about, I'll put down in the description if you decide to come back. But again, we got the channel. So the one thing I love about YouTube is that the old YouTube, the new YouTube is so much better than the old YouTube. And what I mean by that is the information that they want you to be successful. They want you to be successful, and they're giving you all of the information in the world, all of the information in the world, all of the information in the world. All right, y'all can also, I'm putting my business out here too. Here go the whole money thing. Here go the whole money thing, estimated revenue. And that's not for me creating anything. That's not for me creating anything, but that's for me being lazy. All right, so channel analytics, pretty much just a quick overview. You're gonna see the amount of views you've had in the last month, the amount of watch time you've had in the last month, the amount of subscribers. You know, so it'll tell you whether it's up, whether it's down, whether it's up, whether it's down. You can see the trends or whatever. All right, showing your top performing videos, showing your AVD, your average view duration. I want to take a quick pause. The old YouTube was based on subscriptions. How many subscribers do you got? That's no longer the case. YouTube is rewarding views. So they're rewarding CTR, which is, I want you to write this down if you haven't, click-through rate. Think Media also made a video about this. Sean talked about this extensively. CTR and AVD. CTR is click-through rate. So number one, can you get people to click on your videos? Number two, once they click on your videos, how long do they stay? How long do they stay? And so as far as a sweet spot, if you can get 70% of your viewership to stay on for at least 30 seconds, then your video is probably going to perform well. That's a quick rule of thumb. So again, CTR, AVD, click-through rate, and average view description. You know, now YouTube, I really believe at some point should become like a major, because it's a lot that goes into this. But again, with all the analytics, they're going to give you a breakdown of everything, your content. You know, they're going to show you, okay, remember I was talking about understanding how to speak the language of your audience? Let's go over here to audience. So it's going to show you your returning viewers, your unique viewers, the subscribers. It's going to tell you when they're watching. Like, it's going to tell you when they're watching, which means this is the best time for you to post. This is why you have to pay attention to your audience. You have to pay attention to the analytics. You got it. It's going to tell you where they are watching from. If you have something like TubeBuddy, they're going to give you recommendations on when the best time to post. So for me, Sundays at 1, Mondays at 12, Tuesdays at 12, Wednesday at 11, Thursday at 11, Friday at 11, Saturday at 10. So what I need to do is go make sure that I build my content schedule around what they're recommending. Because again, they're telling me one of the other things that I love, they tell me the watch time, they tell me the age and the gender. You know what I'm saying? You know, millennials. That's who, Generation X and millennials, that's who's watching my content. I know that just from a lot of the comments and the response that I'm giving, all right? And so I want to get out of that real quick. Let me jump in the comments real quick. James Bush. Well, I'm finally starting a new channel. Need these tips. How will handles play into the branding strategy? So, James, what the handles are going to do basically simply is make it easier for people to find you. So they're literally taking an Instagram or TikTok approach. So instead of you just having it just makes it easier for people to find your content. Think of it. I'm not sure if you're with the Amazon influencers, but you know how you have your storefront, if you have your URL. Same thing with Facebook. You know, it just makes it easier. So you can literally hand out a business card. You can hand out a business card now. Be like, hey, I'm a YouTuber. Oh, well, how do I find you? Here's the handle. That's really all it is. It makes it easier. And then the one thing I've also noticed, I think even on live streams and when you're commenting, it allows you to directly tag the person. It allows you to directly tag the person. That's what I've seen so far. That's what I've seen so far. And let me get out of preview mode because y'all couldn't see James's comment. All right. So again, number one, it makes it easier for people to find you. And I think it makes it easier for people to interact in the comment section, whether that's a pre-recorded video, on demand, or a live video. David Harvey says, well, it was your Ecamm tutorial and personality that introduced me to Ecamm live software. Super dope community. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Ecamm, people ask me all the time. They say, Walt, what do you use to create your videos? Let me go back to this main view. What do you use to create your videos? Ecamm. Like, all of my videos are created with Ecamm. If I go live, it's with Ecamm. Every video I've recorded for YouTube, Ecamm. Again, I don't have time to set up this. I use a Sony ZV-E10 with a Sigma 16mm f1.4. That is set up, and I have in the studio. I'll do a studio tour at some point, but I'm not really into that. Right now, y'all see me using my Shure MV7X. Usually, I'll swap that out with the Rode Pod mic. I just like the way the MV7X sounds right now, the way my voice is acting in this season. And then a Godox XL60W. All of that's going into the Rodecaster Pro 2. I still have my Rodecaster Pro 1. I'm actually using it at church. On my other channel, all I use, and I'll be making a video about this soon, is the Rode Video Go 2. Honestly, because it just makes it easier for me to just plug and play. Now, granted, I can plug and play with this, but I just wanted something different. And I didn't necessarily want the mic in that particular shot because I'm talking about, I think somebody asked me this too. David asked me, what is the other channel about? Fragrance, fashion, food, and fun. It's called Fat Boy Finesse. Actually, I'll show it to you right now. Fat Boy Finesse. Fat Boy Finesse. One thing I love about live streaming is the fact that I can do things live. All right, so let's go to the channel. All right, so that's the new channel. It's called Fat Boy Finesse. Again, fragrance, fashion, food, and fun. We throwing fitness in there too, you know, because your boy got to drop this weight. But again, Fat Boy Finesse. So if any of you are interested in that, if you're interested in fragrance, if you're interested, this is my, this would be tip number 5. Have fun. Fat Boy Finesse is a way for me to just be raw, not have to really focus on the editing. It's kind of why I'm using this. It just turn the camera on and go. Allows me to do some vlog style commenting with my phone, you know, and so I really kind of get to have fun with that. But Fat Boy Finesse, you see that there. Let's go back. Gutter Sean says, appreciate the openness and advice. What are your thoughts on YouTube Shorts going into the future? Hearing about monetization soon. Yeah, so there's a lot of talk going on about basically they're doing a fund kind of similar to TikTok, I think Instagram and Facebook, where they are creating a fund. Well, no, let me take that back. Everybody else was creating a fund specifically for like Reels and Shorts. What YouTube is doing, they're going to pay you out of the AdSense. So they're going to say, which I actually like. I think it was smart in order, because a lot of people are creating shorts and it wasn't benefiting them. So it doesn't have an effect on your watch time or anything like that. But they say, hey, there's some great content going on in shorts. We will allow you to get paid from it. So basically what they're saying is we're going to share some more of the ad revenue with you. So I think it's dope. I'm not into shorts. Like I'm really not. When I say I'm really not, I'm really not. Like I'm really not. I'm really not. You know, I appreciate people that do it. And some people is like, yo, just create one thing, one reel, and it goes on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. I mean, that's cool, you know, but just me personally, I'm not into it. One person whose shorts that I love, Diana Gladney, she be making these shorts about like the different camera brands, like, you know, Sony, Fuji, Canon, and how they basically be trying to get each other. I think it's hilarious. I love it. That's not really my cup of tea though. That's not really my cup of tea. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So like I said, guys, I didn't want to necessarily take up a whole lot of time. I'm getting back into the swing of creating. Thursday seems like a good day. So let's look to do this again next Thursday. If you're subscribed to me, you'll see it basically on your quote unquote timeline or the community thing. But Pixel Heart says, if you don't. Yes, absolutely. And thank you for saying that. Thank you, because that's the other thing. One reason I'm pushing people to YouTube is listening. One of the things I loved about Ecamm Live, I tell people, I'm like, we have access to the founders and the developers and the people that like work with the software, and they take our input. And so if it's reliable, or if it's input that's going to affect a whole bunch of people, you're going to see an update come out in less than 30 days. And it happens. YouTube, Sony was in a lot of these I call them big box retailer companies, but like you could tell Sony is now listening. You can tell Apple is now listening. Canon, not so much. That's another conversation for another day. I can't speak to the Windows people. Can't speak to the Android people. But you can tell companies now are more invested in what the consumers think, because they understand that's their bottom line, you know, and they got to keep this money going or whatever. But yeah, like YouTube is listening. And so they're rolling out a division specifically catered to podcasting. I love it, because that's really where I thrive. And I have a lot of good things coming. I can't wait till the beginning of the year. I'm gonna have a lot of good things coming in that regard. But Gutter Sean says, it's nice to know it's helped me gain a fair amount of subs being compared to where I was at. It might help you being a new face just by clipping some of this content. Good luck with everything. And you're right, absolutely. Because Gutter, one of the things that I talk about all the time is like it's a Gary V content model, macro to micro. You know, so again, taking the long form pieces of content and cutting it up. And I used to do a lot of that. I used to do it before shorts was a thing. I would do that extensively on, you know, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm just not a big fan of it, you know, because it's just me being lazy. It's just me being lazy. But again, it makes it easier because the one thing with Ecamm, I'm recording this live. And so I'll be able to just throw this in Final Cut or Premiere, whichever I feel like doing, chop it up, boom, 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 boom. There's the short. You know, if I want to add a little bit of editing to it, I can. Or, you know, I have a mentee that's a bomb editor that she don't even realize. I'm about to put her on payroll because I ain't got the time. But yeah, real quick, I'm gonna get out of here. I don't know, for those of you, I think I did have a couple people watching on Facebook. I guess they were just listening. Again, you guys, if you wanted to actually hear, I'm live over on YouTube. So leave Facebook, come over to YouTube. But number one, let's just review this for those of you. And I'm gonna do this again next week. We will go more into an extensive type of, all right, these are some actionable steps. I think these steps are actionable, but I just kind of wanted to have a conversation. Number one, forget the tech. Pick up the phone, just get started. Forget the tech. As best as possible, if you want to talk about lights, let's talk about lights. If you want to talk about mics, let's talk about mics. Let's talk about it. But forget the tech. So number one, forget the tech. Just make it look as best as possible. Forget the tech. Number two, what are you passionate about? All right. Not what you would do for free. What are you passionate about? Number three, what language is are your customers, is your client base, your audience? What language is your audience speaking? Learn the language. At first I said locate your audience. Where's your audience at? But learn the language that your audience is speaking. Learn to speak the language of your audience. Boom, there we go. And branding, you have to look at YouTube like building a brand, especially with you being on camera. The biggest part of branding is message. One of the most overlooked, but I think biggest parts of branding, what makes successful brands, is messaging and communication. It has to be clear and concise and consistent. Clear, concise, consistent. Your YouTube channel, clear, concise, consistent. Walt can't pop up posting videos every 2 months. Clear, concise, and consistent across all channels. That's your free branding tip for today. Learn the language of your audience. And as you learn the language of your audience, be clear, be concise, and if you don't remember anything else I said today, I'm acting like a preacher right now. Take that home with you. Learn the language of your audience. And when you speak that language, be clear, be concise, and be consistent. You will see phenomenal growth. You will see phenomenal growth. So that's number three. Number four, content strategy. Content strategy, and what I'm really talking about is the type of content. Once you learn the language, learn the appetite. Once you learn the language, you learn the appetite. And so when you go into number four, you understand how to feed your audience. So again, if I understand my audience is used to TikTok and they're used to being entertained, I have to think twice about YouTube. If I understand they're used to Instagram and there's a balance between entertainment and edutainment, education, being informed in some regard, I got to think twice about YouTube. If they coming from LinkedIn and that's a professional platform, I got to think twice about YouTube. Because again, you're just starting out. So, you know, some people, you have an audience, they're going to follow you anywhere. But as you're trying to pull your people in, you got to understand, learn the language. And after you learn the language, learn the appetite. So you know how to feed them. whether my video needs to be 2 minutes, or whether my video needs to be just shorts, or whether my audience is conditioned for me to throw 5, 7, 10, 15 minutes at them, or whether I just need to do a live stream like this and we can just talk, have a conversation. All right, that's number 4. Number 5 was my tip. That's why I started the new channel. Have fun. Burn out all of these different things. Sometimes for me, I just had to get back to the basics of creating. Just turn the camera on. This is why I'm gonna do more live streams, because I don't have to edit. I don't have to edit anything. Like, I mean, y'all can see as a graphic designer, that's my background. That's how I got started. Web design, all those different things. So there's a lot that goes into, you know, what I do. Thumbnails, all of that, overlays, all of that jazz. That's easy for me. I just love doing it. But like, just go live, literally, and just have the conversation. Number 6, once you start creating, you know, pay attention to the analytics. Pay attention. A bonus tip. If you don't know what to talk about, your audience will tell you what to talk about. I have a list right now running of about 200 videos I could make. TubeBuddy, they will tell you what to create. vidIQ, they will tell you what to create. They will recommend videos you can create based on what your audience is watching. But your audience will dictate what they want to see. I'm going to go back through the comments and I'm going to look through the comments and see what people are talking about. There are videos. I know for a fact I got 5 videos out of this live stream today. All the videos, I live in the comments. I like the subscriptions. I love the likes. But at the end of the day, I love the comments, because the comments is what feeds the content machine. Because one video answers a question leads to another question. Every question is an opportunity for a video. That's one thing I love about Instagram. How I can remix a video and basically respond. I can respond with the video. So use that same mentality on YouTube. Use that same mentality on YouTube. Get in the analytics, get in the comments. YouTube wants you to be successful. You can actually trust them. So let's jump in these comments one more time before we get ready to get out of here, because it's 1:21. I try to go live at 12:30, so I'm getting off at 1:30. David Harvey says, I've never seen anything like the level of customer service that Ecamm provides. It almost seems unbelievable. Like, I'm telling you, like, for real, like, seriously, like, those of you who do live stream, even if you're not just into live, Ecamm can be used for live streams. Ecamm can be used for podcasting. Ecamm can be used for creating talking head videos or tutorials or what. I mean, anything you pretty much want to do, you can do it. And you know how? Because I do it. Again, Sony ZV-E10, Sigma 16 millimeter, Godox SL60W, whatever, Rodecaster Pro 2. Y'all notice I ain't even wearing headphones today. I literally got these playing out of my PreSonus Airs 3.5s. I got a fan going on over here. It's just, you make it work. Now I got a load of gear sitting under my desk, you know, in my SKB cases and all of that. You know, we can have some fun, but I just turn the camera on and just create. You know what I'm saying? Just get it done. But all of that runs through Ecamm. Ecamm is allowing me to push out a live to Facebook. I'm only pushing out the audio. They can't see me though. They're not getting the full experience that you guys are getting right now. I'm not engaging with them. So if somebody comes across my profile and they see that I'm live, they can hear it. It says I'm live on YouTube. Click the link in the description. I just gave some of y'all game, because a lot of y'all multi-stream, you're splitting your revenue. Whether it's subscribers are revenue, views are revenue, likes are revenue. Granted, understand your audience, where they're located. Learn to speak their language. Once you learn to speak their language and you understand their appetite, use that to entice them, to pull them where you want them to go. I'm not splitting my revenue with Facebook. I'm all in over here. I used to do that. Shout out to Doc Rock. He was like, yo, why are y'all multi-streaming? Choose a platform and stick with it. People think multi-streaming is cool. It's not. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, if I'm doing it for a client, that's fine. I get the check. But I'm still going to advise them, where's the bulk of your audience? Lead them. YouTube is a lot easier for people to just click on a link because YouTube is a search engine. It's a search engine. Use it like a search engine. That's another tip I could have gave you. In creating content, it's a search engine. Don't reinvent the wheel. Put your own spokes in it. See what's already happening. See what's already taking place. See what's already taking place. So they go to Facebook. They say, I'm live. Well, it's live, but you got to come to YouTube. You can listen, but I'm not going to address you. I'm not going to see your comments. You're not going to get the full experience unless you come over here on YouTube, because this is my bread and butter. So I understand the language. I got to lead you over here. So I'm going to still give you a piece of the pie. You can listen, but to each his own. I don't want to sit there and listen and look at a thumbnail. I want to watch the whole thing. All right. So that's really all I got. You know what I'm saying? DJ CRS, man, Crisali? You gonna have to tell me how to pronounce that. Hey man, really appreciate your content. Started watching your videos about 6 months ago and got a lot of good tips. Man, I appreciate that. Like again, 6 months ago. Now I'm sad to say in the last 6 months, I think I've only made 2 videos, maybe 3. But that's love. That's bad advice. I'm not telling y'all not to do that. I'm not telling you to do that. Clear, concise, and consistent. That's what you need to take away today. Be clear, be concise, and man, that's good information. Nobody has said that. You won't find that anywhere on YouTube, nowhere else. Clear, concise, and consistent. That's what I preach in branding when it comes to messaging across all of your platforms. Clear, concise, and consistent. As you start your YouTube journey, be clear, be concise, be consistent. That's it. And put context in there wherever you need to, because I love context. But again, that's love, even though I ain't been on my stuff like I'm supposed to. Hey, 6 months later, I appreciate it. All right, you be easy. Go to, David says, I can only imagine how much better Ecamm will become. Nothing else. Nothing. I've used it all. vMix is cool. If I gotta be on the Windows environment, we're gonna use vMix. If you just have to. If I'm going else into somebody else's domain and I'm doing client work and that's what they use, or going into a church or something like that, bet. OBS, if it's a money issue, bet. But Ecamm is it. Now it's only Mac, and I hope it stays that way. But it gets no better. James Bush said, that's what I did on August 29th. I went live to go live at 9 p.m. I needed to hear the tip on multi-streaming. I'm on Facebook and YouTube. I want to go straight to YouTube. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you noticed, James, Ecamm allows you to have multiple local accounts. So I have Ecamm. So my iMac is my main workstation in my office, in my studio. All right. So that's what I have going. And I also have a Restream account. I don't really use it like that no more, except in church. So right now I'm going live to my YouTube page, directly on my YouTube page. NDI. I'm telling y'all how I got this set up. The power of NDI allows me, and some of y'all think I'm lying. I'm gonna prove it to you. I'm gonna prove it to you. The power of NDI. Let me go back here and camera. Actually, I don't know if it's gonna let me do it like this. I don't know if it's gonna let me do it. Hold on. Virtual cam, virtual NDI out. All right, NDI output 1080. All right, so I had that. So I'm sorry, let me get back to it, James. So the power of NDI allows me, and I learned this from doing client work, it allows me to freak live streaming in a way. Kevin Lyons, that's in the, man, I'm telling you, Ecamm allows you to do so much. So I have a local account On my iMac, I have a local account on my MacBook Pro. So I'm running Ecamm Live on my MacBook Pro right now. That's going into Facebook. So what I did is I put up a thumbnail, and I'm gonna show it to you in a second. And I'm pushing the audio, the NDI audio from my iMac over to Ecamm. So if somebody comes into the live stream on Facebook, they can hear it. And like, say for instance, if I wanted to start out, I could start out the show on both. To say, hey, we're getting ready to start the live. I know a lot of you are on Facebook, you know, checking in. Hey, you want to jump over here to YouTube because I'm going to end the live. You jump over here to YouTube because I'm going to end the live. Jump over here to YouTube because we're going to be ending the live in about 5 minutes. I think I saw
Virtual events can be great for
Loria on Live Streaming Pros. They used to do that all the time with their memberships and stuff. So when they would do members only live streams, that's kind of a way to do that. Or that's just, you know, hey, you know, get it cranking, got the music going. We're having a party, you know, on Facebook with everybody on both platforms. If you're on Facebook, I'm getting ready to end this. Come over to YouTube. Then I put up the thumbnail and all they see is that I'm live on YouTube. So let me make sure, let me show you this. So I'm gonna show you this right now. Actually, I lied. Okay, let me create. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. I'm gonna do the screen share so you can see me both at the same time. Well, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. MacBook Pro NDI. See, y'all getting a major tutorial today. All right, bet. So this is what they see on Facebook right now. So this is what my Facebook audience is seeing right now. So when you come on to Facebook, they are currently seeing I am live on YouTube. Click the link in the description. And what I did is take the URL from this YouTube live and put it in the description. So when you come to Facebook, if you want the full experience, you have to click on that. All right. You have to click on that. You have to click on that. So that's the dope thing. That's the dope thing about that. Again, so just so you can see, I'll do it like this. And so all I have to do, what I was talking about, James, let's say it's at the beginning of the video. So now you see what I see, but it's going to create a loop kind of like on OBS. Yeah. So again, learn the language of your audience. Learn the cuisine, learn the local cuisine, learn their appetite. And then learn, once you do that, you understand how to bring them over. You understand how to bring them over. All right. All right, so let me get rid of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Again, it's 1:34. I said I was gonna be off at 1:30. So I'm getting ready to head out. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you have any questions, feel free. Again, I'm gonna chop this up. And we'll do some more dialogue next Thursday. Next Thursday, 12:30 seems like a sweet spot. I'll announce it. I'll put it out so we can have a conversation. I'm looking forward to doing more lives. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all again. Clear, concise, and consistent. Number 1, forget about the tech. Number 2, what are you passionate about? Number 3, learn the language of your audience. Number 4, learn the cuisine, learn their appetite, learn how to feed them. Number 5, have fun. Number 6, pay attention to the analytics. Number 7, the comments will always give you content to create. Comments will always give you content to create. All right, that's been it. Until the next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Y'all be easy.